coated from the hood to the bumper in silver. This is where the money is going. To individuals who want to do stuff like this. Now we see that here in the States because we see the low riders, or we see the fat rims, or the shiny rims, and so on and so forth. But everybody has an opportunity here to achieve that, putting in amount of work. Now, research has shown that there's no sign at all that this sort of arbitrary power exercised by the people's committees, which are the government factions, or the way the government is set up. I mean, it's not like we have state representatives and so on and so forth. No, they have like a committee. So basically I could be like, yo, you my homie, you on this committee, you my boy, you on that committee, and so if you want something, I make sure that happens for you. But anybody else, they can't get in that position. The government restricted civil liberties and freedoms of speech, press, assembly, and association. So you can't speak against the government, you can't write against the government, you can't assemble against the government, and actually just by association with anybody who, say for instance, your cousin, your aunt or uncle is somebody who spoke out against the government, nah, you're getting checked out. Additional problems that occur in Libya are poor prison conditions, impunity for government officials, denial of fair public trials, infringement of privacy rights, restrictions on freedom of religion, corruption and lack of transparency, dealing with finances in the government and how resources are distributed, social discrimination against women, ethnic minorities, foreign workers, and restriction of labor rights. So, as recently as 2010, earlier this year, just actually last month, a report indicated that was talking about how Qaddafi was celebrating his 40th anniversary of the coup that brought him into power. And actually also during April, he had called for a jihad against Switzerland to punish it for their decision not to build minarets. I don't know if you know what a minaret is. It's like that, it's a shrine for prayer. His words were in response to something that occurred at a previous time. Something happened with his son in Switzerland where his son apparently had beaten some of his assistants or something to that effect, and he had basically been jailed for that. The charges were dropped, but the Libyans responded to the perceived slight by detaining 2 Swiss businessmen for overstaying their visas. And I'll move on. Earlier this year, a new manager of a hotel in Tripoli fired some staff members and switched suppliers, and somebody made a phone call. From that phone call, he suddenly was visited by health inspectors, and they found a couple of items. You know, have you ever been to the store and bought like some cereal or something? You get home, you realize, hey, this is expired. What do? You just basically just kind of take it back to the store and they give you something to replace it. Well, that's not what happened in this case. They found it. This guy was put in jail because of an expiration date. So the question is, given what I have told you so far, or thus far, has he really changed? Even though he's put on a great front, he's indicated that, you know, he's all about moving the country forward, globalization, international commerce, and all of this type of stuff, but on the backhand side, he's doing things like restricting freedom of speech, restricting liberties, oppressing women, oppressing other religious groups within the country, and just anybody who disagrees with his philosophy. So basically, though it looks different, he's still the same.
Thank you.